Hi guys, it's Sophie. So today I want to do a TBR video for you. I've not done these in a while because whilst I actually really like TBRs, I know a lot of people stop because they feel restricted by them. But I actually stopped because I ran out of TBR. And I really like them, and so yeah, I think it's something I'm gonna do again. So one of the reasons why I want to do it is because I enjoy it, but also I have got to the stage again where I'm gathering too many books, and what I tend to do when that happens is I'll buy books, I'm really excited about them, but I'll buy sort of 4 or 5 in a go. I'll put them on the shelf and I'll read the ones I'm most excited for. The other 3 will sort of hold on for a bit, and I'll end up buying another 5, and I'll do the same. So I end up with these books that I have hauled, they kind of get stuck on the shelf, and normally I actually really like them when I get around to them, and for me TBRs are a really good way of prompting myself to read stuff that I have on my shelf I'm still excited for but that maybe I just haven't reached. That's what this is going to be today. So this isn't going to be like a February TBR or March TBR or even like a spring TBR. This is literally just going to be some books that I'm going to take out of my full shelf and I'm going to put in my room. And what I'll do is I'll say I have to read through the ones I have in that pile before I can go and pick anything else up. So there's a mixture of some new stuff, some stuff I've literally only just hauled this month, and some stuff that's getting old. But I think it's a good enough mix that I can sort of pick through stuff and hopefully will motivate me to get to all of these things before sort of going out and picking up new stuff. So I'll just quickly show you what it is I'm reading at the moment, and I'm really enjoying both, so I don't think these are going to be difficult, but I'm reading The Bright Edge of the World by Younge and Ivey, and I'm absolutely adoring it, to be honest. I'm a little over halfway through now. But yeah, this book has given me like so much joy in the last like week that I've been reading it. It's been like the only story I've been able to find where someone has gone away in a military setting and hasn't immediately died, and for where I am in my life at the minute, that's a nice thing. So there's a lot of love I have for this book. It's beautiful, it's all set in Alaska, and it has really rich descriptions of wildlife, and the characters are really rich and feel really believable. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it so far. I'd be surprised if this isn't a 5-star book for me. It would take quite a lot for it to fall down in my sort of feeling at the moment, but trekking my way through this one sort of fairly slowly, just picking it up like for half hour, an hour or so a day, but I'm really loving reading it. Yeah, and if you thought you were interested in it and weren't sure, it's amazing, so go read it. And the other one that I'm working my way through at the moment is a little bit different, but that one is Against Empathy by Paul Bloom, and I think if you watched my haul you'd have seen me talk about this one, and this is kind of speaking about why empathy can be a negative thing, not always a positive thing, or in Paul Bloom's case, empathy is an entirely negative thing, apart from in really limited circumstances. So the two of those matched together work quite well. I have found I really enjoy non-fiction and fiction pairings. So that's kind of what I'm thinking going forward with this TBR, you'll see. So the first fiction one I have is Fates and Furies by Groff. This is one that I got for Christmas and I've just heard everyone rave about, and I'm actually starting to buddy read this one next week with Acacia and Vanessa, so I'm hoping to finish my like big book this weekend so that I can jump into Fates and Furies kind of clean as for fiction. But I'm going to be really surprised if I don't love this, because a lot of people whose opinion I really trust have just adored it. So yeah, I can't wait, and I love both of those girls so much, so I'm really looking forward to reading with them. And then throwing in new stuff, because it kind of matches, I have Justice, which you'd have seen if you watched my haul, which is by Micheal J. Sandel. It's talking about the justice system, it's also talking about philosophy more generally, and I think it would be a nice one to go after Against Empathy, just learning about a little bit more about morality and the sort of philosophy of morality, having sort of read a book that kind of discredits one aspect of moral behaviour. So this should be interesting, a nice carry on and a nice way to kind of extend what I'm doing in my reading already. And then the next one I have, I just need to get to soon. I don't know why I haven't yet, but it's The Many by Wyl Menmuir. So this was one of the Man Booker books last year, and believe it or not, the Man Book is coming up faster than you might imagine. It's one of the like a few things I have in my calendar, and I don't want to have any Man Bookers stuck on my TBR from a whole year ago. That's rubbish. So I'm definitely going to be reading this one soon. I've got to read this one within the next month. I don't have a choice. It's also not very long at all. It's like it's not even 150 pages long. What is wrong with me? I should just sit down and read this, shouldn't I? I could probably do it in a day if I wanted to. Font's quite quite small, but I could probably still do it in a day. So yeah, this absolutely has to go before I buy any of the Man Bookers, which I will be doing. I will be doing the Man Booker again this year. I'm so excited, but I have to read the ones I've already got first. And then just because that one, the excitement's faded a fair amount, I've got one I'm massively excited for to kind of balance it, which is Another Day in the Death of America by Gary Younge. And yeah, I've just heard such good things. I want to read this as soon as I possibly can. So I think having to read the many before I get to read Another Day in the Death of America will force me to read the many slightly quicker than I might have done otherwise. So the next one's another one that's been hanging around on my shelf for a little bit of time now, but I think I'm actually absolutely gonna love it. Like, I don't know why I haven't picked it up. I really wanted to get to it at the end of last year. It was one of the ones I took home for Christmas to read and I just didn't have time, but it's In the Country by Mia Alvar, and this is a collection of short stories that are all sort of focused on Filipino people, and they are all in different kind of places, so it's kind of like a geographical spread. So they're following people of Filipino descent, but they are literally all over the world. It just, like, all the comments in the back are just fantastic, and like I really think I'm going to absolutely love this. And I know that I didn't read it last year because I was so focused on how many books I was reading, so this is one I absolutely must make myself read soon, because I already know I'm going to love it. It's just frustrating that I haven't got around to it, but I promise I will. And then the next one is another one that is like, focuses very much on people, but is a little bit closer to home. So this one is This Is London by Ben Judah, and this is a non-fiction book talking about all of the different kinds of people who live in London, and it's not like the businessmen, if that makes sense. It's not the people you imagine. So it says, this is London in the eyes of its beggars, bankers, coppers, gangsters, carers, sex workers and witch doctors. This is London in the voices of Arabs, Afghans, Nigerians, Poles, Romanians and Russians. This is London as you've never seen it before. So the idea is it's stories from individuals that you might not focus on. It's kind of similar to that, like Humans of New York kind of thing. But I'm hoping this is going to be like a really personal touch to people who are like living in the UK, whereas the last one, like In the Country, that I'm pairing it with, is stories about people who are away from their home, but all have that common like ethnicity. So this is kind of like, you'll have the common place but different ethnicities and different backgrounds. So hopefully those pairings will sort of make both of them more interesting to me. So yeah, that's what my plan is. I'm going to separate those books out from my TBR sort of general, and I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to get to them, and I'm going to have some self-control, because whilst like obviously I love buying books, I love more being able to pick up a book and actually read it when I'm interested in it and do it straight away. And I have to learn to control myself from buying stuff, and I know I just do it when I have a bad day. That's what happens, is I have a bit of a rubbish moment and I'll go and buy a big pile of books that it makes me happy. But it's better that I read the ones I have, and I'm going to try and keep reducing what I'm doing. And I think TBRs are great fun, and I think they're really useful for me, and they always push me to read books that I know I'm going to love but that for whatever reason I've lost a little bit of interest in. So let me know what you think about sort of me bringing the TBRs back. I've seen a few people bringing them back on their channels as well, because we went through this wave where we all could have stopped. But I know my reasons were a little bit different, because it was literally like, if I showed you a haul, that's my TBR, because that was all I had. But yeah, I think it's going to be really good. I really like watching TBRs, so let me know what you think of it in general. If there's any of those books that you find particularly interesting, let me know. If you've read any of them and you think they're fantastic, let me know, because I really want to be like spurred on for these ones and keep the excitement I have right now going. Limiting my choices as a person makes me happier about the choice I actually make, and I just need to remember that and actually act in that way in my life. So I think it's going to be good fun. Hopefully you guys think it will be too, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye bye.